going to talk a little bit right here to make sure that we do not get absolutely fucked like we did on the first baseball episode.
Oh, just completely livid?
Just it's 3 a.m. I have just woken up to a text from you saying, "Why is the audio not there?" I see the lines though. We should be good.
I think that episode, the original version we recorded, had the only good joke about triples I'm ever going to be able to pull out of my brain.
So fucking good. That was such a great episode.
You guys would have loved it.
It's lost forever now. It's this fucking green light across the Long Island Sound.
Yep. Now, Sam was talking a second ago about how he uses TV tropes. There's no like drawers and tropes. As a sort of a nicotine gum for social media.
Yes. Social media was killing me, and it's also killing you, Dennard, and also you listening, and you shouldn't do it.
Is social media killing me particularly more than, say, the existence of peanut butter cups or Jägermeister offshoots? Not even Jägermeister itself anymore. Sort of adult deviations.
Grown-up Jägermeister, like Amaro and Liquore Strega.
It has been this man's fucking product to never have me walk into a public space again and order the Jägermeister because it was making him angry.
It's so fucking terrible. It's one of the worst liqueurs you could get.
Can't I like feet, Sam? Is a man not entitled to the feet of his brow?
He's entitled to it, but why would he want that when he could have, a nice liquor Amaro?
Because the liquor Amaro don't have uncensored toesies.
We're getting away from Jägermeister here. I don't think that's what Jägermeister has. I don't think that's an accurate description of the draw of Jägermeister. It's not even cheap. It's not even cheap.
I would describe its appeal as sort of, people skinny dip in ice water to wake up in the morning? I feel like Jägermeister's like the drinking equivalent of that. It's bracing. Which is...
Oh, I was in Chicago about a month ago. I had Malort. Talk about bracing.
I think Malort kills more people in Chicago than semi-automatic firearms.
That was one of the worst fucking things I've ever drank.
I'm
to the
glad
people
you're
of
still
Chicago. Here. Good one. That was a very good practical joke that you pulled on the rest of America.
They're just fucking with you with the Malort thing. Who was the wise guy?
A bartender. No, honestly.
A bartender. A professional
here's what happened.
Malort prankster.
Sam and Josh, I was on the group chat. I was, saying, hey, what the fuck should I do in Chicago? I'm in Chicago. And Sam, Sam, the jackass, says, you should get fucked up on Malort, Sam. And then Josh says something to the effect of, yeah, do it. It fucking blows. Like, I was warned.
You've got two devils on your shoulder there, huh? Well, I'm glad you survived it.
I found something worse than Jägermeister.
Something worse than Jägermeister. A lot of things worse than Jägermeister. Certain media properties are worse than Jägermeister when you get down to it.
Many media properties are worse than Jägermeister.
One could say the preponderance of them, but today I'm focused on the implied return. Like they're gonna milk the cow.
Yeah.
It would be extremely strange. This thing was all set up, no punchline. Sorry, I have a Shonen Jump subscription because I like to know what's happening
in manga
with the people, and they had a special recently, which was a special Bleach one-shot. Tite Kubo is... I'm so surprised I was semi-right about that.
I think it's Taito.
Yeah, Taito, yeah, but...
Taito, but, it's still Tite to me. I don't know. I can't exile it from my head.
The point is, the Eternal Kubo is back of a one-shot, but this time, instead of the outer universe of Bleach, which he has decided is full of fashionable witches, which... I don't know, I've heard worse creative choices in my life. But this one is just straight on Bleach, Ruto, Super.
So my first question when I was reading that is, so is he trying to pitch a continuation or reboot or whatever of Bleach to Shonen Jump with this? Did you get that sense? Is that the sense that you got? I sort of got that sense a little bit.
But the way it was put together to me, it is so much of a non-story on its own that I can only imagine this is in the bag either in manga or anime form. Like, this cannot stand on its own. I'm also not sure it will stand as a continuation, but it is written very much not just as like the first tease of something, but just if there are not more words from the scene after this, it is a very dumb piece of media.
I mean, it was a very dumb piece of media before this one shot. This one shot was a very dumb piece of media, and if this one shot, becomes his gateway back into Shonen Jump, then it'll be a very dumb piece of media in the future.
I don't know where to begin with this one. Should we just summarize it first, or do we just talk about it first?
I don't know, people just kind of just sit around and fucking jaw for a while, and then some hollers show up. It's not very exciting.
Alright, I'm gonna start with just the first thing, in that it's almost a baited switch, but it's Kubo, so... Because it looks like it's going to do the default dumb continuation thing of it's the main character's kids, and it is. They're involved.
They're there.
They might be the main characters down the line. But his fucking captain addiction is so fucking pointed.
It's destroying his life. His family's worried.
Some people have alcohol, some people have pachinko, some people have escorts. This man just needs captains.
He just needs captains so fucking badly.
And it falls back into the same old shit. Actually, I have to draw one bit of respect for this one shot. He has not really lost...
You have to?
No, I do. Because I will not claim that this is worse than Bleach was. This is not him falling off.
No,
He is Kuboing like he never left, and good for him.
Sometimes there are backgrounds in it, so I'll give him that. Only sometimes, though.
Well, it's the first chapter, so he got some run up to this motherfucker.
Often he will just slap a gradient on the panel, everything, what's happening, behind the foreground, and then it'll just kind of call it a day.
There's actually one thing that is tangibly worse.
What's tangibly worse?
What is tangibly worse, and they weren't great to begin with, but there was like a description of them, is fucking orange hair and red hair, Ichigo and Renji or whatever. Because they were not Mr. Personality before, but they had a personality as brash youth. And now they've been aged 10 years. That's what I'm going to describe as guy. Ichigo is now
a translator.
He's a translator. He's a dude. He's
some fucking guy. He's got a sword from way back when he was interesting, I guess.
I don't know. You had this great runner about bad time skips and how they sometimes feel like that episode of Seeing Yourself in the Future. It's a fucking loser. And he was the rock and roll hero of reality, and I don't know, now he's a guy, he has a
kid or something. Oh man, this fucking chapter cannot be fucked to show us like any of the side characters from the human world for any amount of time. Like, Chad was just not fucking there, man. Neither was Uryu. I'm pretty sure Hime was there for a panel or two.
Or Hime got to be there for, I want to say, 3 panels, and then she was kicked the fuck out of this comic.
That's all she was paid for.
Because we have to stop by our old captains. We have new captains.
One of them's a fucking Gyaru girl. That was pleasant.
I think that social trend died 10 years ago. I don't know what he's up to with that. She is... The guy knows where his bread is buttered, because I guess he just figured he couldn't just lean on... Was it Rakugo, whatever.
I don't fucking know. And I'm never going to fucking know.
Because
I like myself, Dennard.
Walking boob window lady. He just...
Or her.
Felt she couldn't stand on her own anymore, I guess. So he had to make new waifu bait, and it is not a subtle effort. It's like this screaming Gyaru girl, and her superpower, she makes a rawr sound and closes her hands together.
And a bear
bites things.
God, fuck it. It's like It's like he's telling the aristocrats.
Yeah. Do you know what this fucking one-shot is trying to make me do? And I'm not gonna fall for this game. You can't make me Shonen Jump. It's trying to make me say the sentence, it makes me look at Jujutsu Kaisen and see all the structure and, like, control there. No, fuck you. You can't make me. But it's true. It's very true. And I just said it indirectly. I haven't summarized this thing. I'm going to do a little bit of that. Just so that the people can join us.
Is there a summary that I guess so.
I mean, there's a speed summary. You have Ichigo, who is a translator now because...
He's a guy.
He's a guy.
He's a guy. He combs his hair a little bit differently now.
And,
He has a...
He has...
He's at a ramen shop at the outset or something.
He has a kid that is vaguely mysterious. I think there's a chance that they might try to go for him having some kind of connection to hell. That's the vibe I'm getting, but I don't care enough to interrogate that too deeply, but that's the trajectory.
I don't think that it's coming back. I don't think this was interesting enough. I don't think that even old fans thought that it was interesting enough. What few of them there are...
He sort of piloted a Burn the Witch animation of a comic. This might be that deal. Like, I think the fix is in.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a good fix. It doesn't have to be headed for success. But I think the fix is in.
Okay, sure. Alright, so yeah,
So this kid runs off and Kon is back because Kon kind of gets more screen time than explanation of the stupid concept that comes in at the end of this that I am almost circling back to being a fan of just because it makes me smile.
Well, here's the thing. When explanation of stupid concept happens, right? It happened late enough that for most of the chapter I was like, alright, where is it?
I'm really happy that when he came back, we got to get Kubo.
We got to get some fucking Kubo bullshit as he goes on about, oh god, spirit essence? I swear to god, it surprised me that he had not combined those two words together in Bleach before to be some wacky fucking concept.
Like, they had the whole Reishi thing, but the point is not Reishi, it's Hell Reishi or whatever.
Fucking...
Okay, I'm gonna get ahead of myself. I'm just gonna try to get through the summary. So, then we get to the other kid that gets way more screen time because, I don't know, Ichigo's kid is mysterious and cursed or something. Maybe he'll be evil. That could be cool. I don't give a shit. But... it's Renji and... Who does Renji fuck? I don't care. It's Renji and someone's kid.
Rukia. She's there, again, for maybe 2 panels, because Kubo, like...
Oh, man. Speaking of manual personality extraction...
Is it even fair to say that happened? We didn't... Like, she wasn't there long enough for us to even see.
She's a mom.
She's there. Okay, now she's gone. Bye.
But what's more important than these people who the plot were based on is Captain's disorder. Because Renji's daughter just is being trained by one of the more popular sub-captains from the fighting group. Remember the fighting
bald
group?
Guy. I remember the bald guy, yeah.
Yeah.
He was Kenpachi's subordinate, right?
Yeah.
I feel like he was in his squad.
For the record, I've decided that despite all the Aizening, my favorite instance of the world getting Kubo'd is when he declared that Kenpachi was actually a title and that the healer company lady was the first Kenpachi who killed too many people, so she had to stop. That made me smile so much.
It's because it's this great little fucking microcosm of Bleach, how plot developments are put forward as just him making some new shit up.
Yep. In a tight little ball, there it is. And that ball was the first Kenpachi, and that ball bounced into too many necks and snapped them, so they had to lock it away.
So fucking stupid.
So, I've said all this stuff about the kids, right? So
yeah.
You're trying to wonder how it comes to play, right? Fuck you. So what happens is all the captains get called together for some kind of ceremony. And I'm using captains as a broad term for... There was this weird dual consciousness in Bleach, because he knew he originally structured it to be, like, about these kids. And then this captain thing happened. He wanted all the fights and shit to be about them. And they got all the time. But he also, like, would just drag and kicking and screaming back to the kids every now and again. But whatever. It's captain time. All your favorites are there. You have...
the tuberculosis guy.
You have tuberculosis guy. You have...
Wait, is he there?
No, I don't think he is. I don't fucking care. I remember where you mentioned that you just stopped giving a shit was when the doctor came back in.
Oh, yeah. No.
The guy who
I
has,
don't know why he is still allowed in the Soul Society, let alone polite society.
I really enjoy characters that undermine the sanity of their setting.
Yeah, his presence alone just... And it's been 10 years. It's been 10 fucking years. You have to imagine that in those 10 years, he's done something fucked up enough to warrant him getting the axe.
And you look at him, and you think people in this comic have gotten executed for doing less than he
So
does
much
every
less.
time he's on screen. But because I guess this is a wrestling promotion, and I don't know, he's over with the Edge crowd, he just gets to hang around. Okay, this is a hard comment to summarize because there are so many fucking little rabbit holes. I'm gonna fall into all of them. The point is they are attacked by Hollow Titan hollows, but they don't emit spirit energy, so they sneak up on people even though they're fucking huge. So
They're quite large.
I don't know if that's some kind of congenital disorder. So
They were some of the least scary looking things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just for what it's worth.
So then some sub-captain's job, then the new monster's job to the new captains, immediately undermining the threat that these new creatures pose. And then I smelled something and I realized I'm about to be Kubo'd.
You're about... And Kubo'd you were, my friend.
As a very dead character appeared. And we're about to go into a whole nother rabbit hole because a character appeared. He's dead. Dead people come back all the time in comics. He specifically says that he's from hell. He's come back from hell.
He's come from hell.
And I know they've alluded to hell verbally at some point in Bleach. I think there was a filler arc. I don't care. Because when you say hell in Bleach, like, oh, do you mean like the sort of slums outside of Society? No, hell. Oh, you mean like the Hueco Mundo place with all the hollows? No, hell. Oh, you mean like that sort of fucked up palace the Spirit King has and he's sort of a malign force?
No, you idiot, hell.
Wait, are you telling me that through our cosmological tour of this stupid setting, you are just dropping it? Hell now. And what we learn about hell...
Again, it's a perfect microcosm. It's such a perfect microcosm because he doesn't write fights like, okay, now I'm going to creatively apply my powers to beat you in this creative application of my powers. No, it's, so here's this new shit I can do that I didn't tell you about beforehand.
Yeah. So what's important about hell, I need you to walk with me here, is that it turns out... So I know you're thinking of hell as like a place that bad people go when they die, right? Or like, I don't know, the weak if you're a Viking.
Can I...
It's... Go.
I was just thinking about competitive tax filing, right? And how with Bleach, it's more like revealing to your opponent a secret Cayman Islands account, and then several hours later, revealing another secret Cayman Islands account. That's what competitive tax filing is like in Bleach. Go on.
Yeah. I would say competitive tax filing in Bleach is almost just like... It's just going, my random shit coin just quadrupled in value. It happens once a year. It's the only time I can unleash its power. Ethereum B. Okay.
Mother of all short sell. Rise. Bust.
So, what's important about hell, and this is what the thing I said I loved. Their specific phrasing in Bleach is that when class 3 or higher Reishi is killed, it cannot be redispersed into Soul Society. I'm going to translate that into English. So,
if you're a bad enough dude,
if you're hell is only full of tough dudes, and not just bad tough dudes. Anyone who's a badass goes to hell when they die. So hell is basically, as far as I can tell, like Valhalla, but no one pays the rent. Like the light bills are up, everyone's just pissed off that they're there.
And that would be interesting if he had thought that far. But I think what you're talking about is just sort of, hey, wait a minute. Just sort of a consequence of him not having done so.
Yeah. And the thing that's also just great about that concept, I guess I didn't say is the guy that comes back from hell is the evil counterparts scientist from the half hollow.
No, not the scientist. It's that was Okoria.
No, Okoria was the hot topic avatar of all hot topics. This was
but he was like the scientist guy, right?
maybe that two scientists. I don't think Okoria was a scientist. I think he was just a tough, sad dude.
I swear to God.
No, the scientist was like the pink hair. I looked this up on fucking Bleachopedia before this, just so I wouldn't be purely talking out of my ass.
It's not.
His name is Saya
Xylopor
Zalaporo.
of Gans, right?
Yeah.
Was he the scientist?
He was the scientist.
Fuck me. I thought that the Hot Topic kid was the scientist.
I know that it's weird because nothing in his rendition in this chapter references that element of his personality as he sort of screams, "I'm here from hell," and a shitty little boss meter fills out.
And a shitty little boss meter it was, in fact, because, man,
he was employed.
Well, I mean, it was a one-shot. You can't stretch this fucking thing out for a dozen chapters this time, Kubo.
Truly, the breath of a bat out of hell. So, there are a few things I want to talk about with this.
I don't even know how the fuck he...
First off, this hell thing is signaling with pride that whatever this leads to will be a manual retread of Aizen and the other guy.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna be another arc. It's just gonna be another arc of Bleach. Like, if you liked Bleach, great, you'll love what comes next if in fact it does. But it's just gonna be another fucking arc of Bleach. The fact that it takes place 10 years later is going to be legit of no fucking consequence at all.
Yeah, I admire the single-mindedness in a way. It's gonna...
I mean, the dude knows which way his bread is buttered. He's writing to his audience. What audience still exists? I don't know. I think they're all reading Jujutsu Kaisen now. Or, they have kids now, so they're not really reading manga. Or they're bad parents, so they are reading manga. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a decent gambit.
Man, some of his audience may have even, grown taste. Or is
I like to think that I have.
We can dream.
Though I was gone halfway through either the first or the second anime filler arc. I was out of there. I was not fucking waiting around.
You got evacuated early?
It sucked. It sucked. Did you watch any of those anime filler arcs?
Dude, I could not
They fucking sucked.
I could not do the fucking old model of real-time shonen anime adaptations where...
Yeah, I'm very glad that it's different now.
Seasonal anime has been a very good change specifically for shonen adaptations, yeah.
There are things about seasonal anime that I like and things about seasonal anime that I do not like, but
if you like plucky young men using the power of friendship to punch someone into a coma, then it has been a pure positive development.
That has been quite a boon, hasn't it?
That's one of my points, is just... It's not even double hell, it's like... I guess it's almost half hell, since my attempts to think about Bleach as a cosmology for too long, it's this, doomed windmill tilting thing.
Because he was making shit up as he went along without any regard for how it fit into the shit that he'd already made up.
I want to play a game with you.
I really want to know. I want to know how much groundwork had been laid from the moment that first chapter was published. How much thought had he actually put into the world that he had built? I gotta tell you,
Not looking
probably
like
less than 20% of what we ended up with.
Yeah.
That's my estimation.
I want to throw a query your way.
Sure.
And I think, I don't know, a super eye patch wolf might have an answer or an opinion, but I want to see what your take on this is.
Okay. Maybe.
What is Bleach about? Now look, when I say that, you're like, what do you mean? It's a mainline show, and actually, it's not about anything. They sort of are, even if it's not typically something too deep or smart. Like, you know, you have the whole Dragon Ball, like, self-improvement, I'm better tomorrow than today kind of bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got that. You've got the whole belonging fixation in Naruto and all that shit.
Yeah.
Is Bleach fucking... What is Bleach about in your head?
Started out as sort of a 2000Z answer to Yu Yu Hakusho's themes of teenage rebellion. Lost that thread fucking entirely. Mm-hmm. Not even halfway through. Barely even a quarter of the way through. And became about captains very, very shortly thereafter. I don't think... No, Bleach is not actually about anything besides the things happening... Literally, the things literally happening on the page. I am certain that some poor dumb fuck weeb somewhere in some liberal arts college has tried to write a paper about his favorite awful goddamn manga and what it means to him and what it objectively meant, what the authorial intent was. But the authorial intent was to drag this out for another couple of chapters and then do it again and then again and then again until he couldn't anymore. That's what Bleach is about. Bleach is about the next chapter.
I was going to do a whole clever wind-up, but you sort of hit my point on the head, though I would also present the side theory. I think Bleach is pretty much about character designs.
Yeah, he loves fashion.
And it just made me think of... There are supporters and maligners of the Western model of, like, comic creative, where it's usually split between an artist and writer team.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think the manga model has a lot of obvious advantages, which is a dumb thing to say as a pure writer, because it's almost like throwing myself under the bus. But, man, if there were ever a pure defense of the Western model of comic book production, it is fucking Bleach as this artist who has just... this artist who has it just puts together this hot bag of nonsense every week for 6 years. It just makes me think about that sometimes, in terms of how Bleach sort of just is about character designs.
Was it only 6 years?
I just threw out a random number there. It must have been longer than that, because that
really
comic
hope
was
so.
That comic was running when we were in middle school. I have the Shonen Jumps.
It felt so long. If it were that short, good lord. The longer I live my life, you know, just all of the periods of it grow shorter and shorter and shorter.
It is so weird to write a comic for that long and say so little, by the way. Like, there was that original Teenage Rebellion thing, and that's what drips off. Even, like, Kishimoto, like, just managed to, like, just throw out his opinion on, I don't know, fucking warfare for a second before getting back to
Longing Stairs. I feel as though my opinion on Naruto has actually softened some, not a lot, some, in the last 5 or 6 years, and Bleach I am so much less forgiving towards. Like, less so than I was when I first dropped it with a big loud fuck this.
I was kind of wondering if this would be like, you know, my prodigal son returning, and I would sort of rediscover what I appreciated about it.
No.
But it's just my fucking alcoholic...
What the fuck were you thinking? You
fucking
idiot.
It's just my alcoholic stepson showing up to his brother's wedding, vomiting on the cake, groping a fucking attendee, and passing out in the pews. It's special. Bleach is very special.
So the moment that I referred to much earlier, where it took them, I think it's about a 30-page or so chapter, right? And about 25 pages in, the Sekuhara guy with the hat starts going on about Reishi or something like that, and that was when I remember. Oh, cool! Yeah. No, this is Bleach, so he's gonna like talk about some nonsense fucking mechanic of the world that was just added now, probably, if you kind of, check the math, right? Go back throughout the series and check the math. It will not add up at all. He's kind of hoping you have forgotten all of that.
I think that there are fewer projects more doomed than being a Bleachologist, like dedicated to the interior structural integrity of fucking Bleach. It is mapping the random motions of children on the playground. But I've got one more point about this shit. And I'm going somewhere with this. This might just be my slam dunk for the episode. I might just tap out after this.
Okay.
But I want you to walk with me here. I look at this returning property, this extending thing, this extension of a brand, this revival of a brand, whatever, revival of a story, revival of a universe, attempt to continue its aesthetic or themes. And I look at the sort of, and some of these are tropes now. You have your Borutos or Subaru, right? I look at this fixation of bloodlines, this micro expansion or elaboration of power system elements. Just a sort of thematic inbreeding, specifically with the bloodlines and the minutia of the power system. And I'm just left screaming from the mountaintop, Rian Johnson was right! Rian Johnson was fucking right! The Last Jedi is a great movie.
The Last Jedi was right about fucking everything.
Every fucking
Every decision made in that fucking movie, I agree with 150 fucking %.
And you
will stagnate until you drown in shit.
It's fucking the narrative version of royal inbreeding.
Oh, what? This is one of the bad Habsburgs.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of those in about 15 years.
Like, oh, look at his paper cut bleak there. That's no good. That's no good.
Oh, did you also, speaking of Habsburg, did you read that one of the, remaining Habsburgs, they're still there.
Mm-hmm.
Less inbred now. He has, a normal person job. Fuck.
Good for
An
him.
adult member of the Habsburg family tweeted a poll where he asked people to choose who they thought the best girl from Evangelion was.
Oh my god, who won?
I don't know. That's not the point.
That isn't the point. The point is that, yeah, well...
This is where we've come, and it's beautiful, Dennard.
We've worked so hard to reach this point. You guys can't see, but I'm shaking Sam's hand.
A grandson of Charles V, who ruled most of the known world, would like to know who you think the best girl was out of the Eva cast.
Do you ever just think about how you materially live a better life than Charles V?
Well, I mean, imagine him having to wear a fucking mask throughout all this.
Oh yeah, imagine royalty succumbing to random weird diseases.
No, I mean, with the chin.
Oh.
It wouldn't fit.
Great. Oh, I'm gonna have to mix that laugh down. It's got that weird mixed down tone to it. Anyway, I just felt that the restoration of the Bleach monarchy was worth an episode, and the mirth that Kubo continues to give me, perhaps not in the way that he intended, but in a way that maybe adds something to...
Yo, did you see how fucking slick he was trying to be coming up with that dumb shit goldfish metaphor at the beginning of the chapter, and in no way attempting to tie it into anything that happened throughout the rest of it? He just figured you'd do the work yourself.
The man is 100% aesthetic.
It's slick. I'll give him that. It's slick. I bet someone came up with a meaning for that. There is none.
Don Draper is going to walk into a boardroom and say, a goldfish.
2 of them, in fact.
Yeah.
One of them was kind of smaller than the other one. But then the larger one died.
Oh, warning, this week there might be some weird downtime on the side or the audio linkage. I'm just upgrading the hosting so that I don't get screwed out over this next prank.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
But, thank you all for listening. Suck it, Quell. Oh my god, can we tap dance on this guy's grave for a second?
Yeah, we can tap dance on Cuomo's grave for a second.
Alright,
Fuck with my subway, will you? You Albany prick.
Oh man. We are entering
It took me 2 hours to get back from Manhattan a couple nights ago. On a fucking weekday.
We are entering a new place beyond tripling down. Of just, I'm not a groper, I'm old. I'm not a groper, I'm Italian. I am not a groper, I exist in the space between spaces. Pieces of my consciousness come from a time before groping was a concept in the human overall. Please forgive me.
In the end, aren't we all gropers? And at the same time, not, because what is language?
Yeah, and I just love watching this failed wannabe Tammany Hall motherfucker flap about like a fish in the sun. The fucking years of him walking hand in hand with the Independent Democratic Council.
It feels nice. It feels real nice, Dennard.
I guess what I'm saying is that his suffering is good, and I endorse it.
I endorse it and enjoy it, in fact.
Thank you all. It's Weeaboo Hell.
It's Weeaboo Hell.